What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. This is Hands Down Sports, Starting LineUp Podcast, episode number 7. Now, I'm going to be dedicating this episode to the Olympics over there in Paris. August 10th, 2024. There's an important game going on in the finals right now with the men's USA basketball squad. And I'm going to tell you why it's so important for them to win this game, man. So tune into that game tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, the NFL preseason started, so I want to give a shout out to all my football fantasy heads out there, because I know you guys already set up your draft day, and I know, just like me, we can't wait to do this draft, man. It's like Christmas for us. And of course, MLB is on fire. There's tons of teams that are fighting for a playoff spot. So I want to, talk about that today. And then, of course, my what ifs and player of the week. So thanks again for tuning in. Sit back, get your yak, get your J. Hands Down Sports got you, bro. Let's do this. All right, my people, let's get right into it. This is my first segment of the day, New York teams. And right now, it's all about the Yankees and the Mets. Now, the Yankees, of course, are doing much better than the Mets, but the Mets have worked very hard since June 2nd to be in this spot. And right now, they are playoff contenders. They're in that wild card race. So it's very impressive what they've done, because they started off very bad. There was trade rumors. Lindor didn't make the All-Star game and stuff like that. So, things happen, bro. And now we're here, and it's looking good. But the Yankees aren't perfect either, even though they're like the third best squad in the league. Like all MLB teams, they're like third best, actually tied with Baltimore, so they're really second best. Philly is the best team in the league. But I was looking at some rankings that ESPN has. I like their rankings. It's just like one team is not really in that top 10 record. They're pretty much right there too, but let me tell you how they put it down here. So in their rankings, which I kind of agree with, is we got the Yankees first, then we got Baltimore, Philly, Cleveland, LA Dodgers, Milwaukee, Minnesota, San Diego, Arizona, and then they put Atlanta in there. Now, record-wise, Atlanta is not in the top 10, but they're in the top 15. So when you go look at the overall rankings in the MLB as of today, you're looking at Philadelphia 69 and 46. Baltimore and New York Yankees are tied 68-48. Cleveland is 67 and 48. The Dodgers 66 and 49. Milwaukee 65-49. Minnesota is 64 and 50. We got San Diego at 64 and 52. But then we got Kansas City. Kansas City Royals are actually tied with the same record as the Padres. And then to round off the top 10, we got Arizona Diamondbacks at 63 wins and 53 losses. Now, if you take a look at let's say from the 11th down to the 20th spot, it's also like neck and neck, man. So like someone goes on a win streak here, they're going to put themselves in a good position, especially a little later in this season when it gets closer to that playoff time of the year, to sneak right in. You know what I mean? So this is pretty impressive, man. I really like when a lot of teams are fighting for playoff spots. It just makes it more interesting, at least for me, man. I know a lot of people are not the biggest baseball fans. I can watch any baseball game. I don't care if it's your kid's t-ball team. I can watch that. You know what I mean? Maybe not on TV, but at the ballpark. But when it comes to watching it on the screen, I'm down to watch the worst teams, like the White Sox, who are in a bad situation right now. But we'll get to that a little later. Now, I was going to tell you, the Mets since June 2nd have gone 36 and 19, and they are contenders. They are in the wild card race, and I do hope that they continue to play good, because I want to see both, Yankees and Mets in the playoffs, since my Blue Jays. Una mierda larga. So the other thing is that the Yankees, despite that they are basically the second best team in the league, and maybe tied for the best team in the AL, they have two pitchers that are not really pitching good since, I don't know, June 1st. And I'll show you right here. These two guys right here, they can do much better. I know that. But they're struggling, man. Those ERAs, it's time to, do something about that, brother. But besides, being a top 5 team, the Yankees as a collective are such a good team together that, that's why they're doing so good, unless, the mob is involved. But anyways, what I wanted to talk about, because this was a little interesting, ESPN was talking about this recently, that it's been 50 years since a player has been intentionally walked early in the game, I mean first and second inning, with no men on base. And the Toronto Blue Jays, my favorite team, did that to Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is basically Barry Bonds right now, because he is ripping the ball off the socket. I mean, 321 batting average, leading the league in home runs with 41, leading the league in RBIs with 104. I mean, he's 32 years old, and he's probably playing the best baseball. I mean, last year he is the home run king of the American League when he hit over 60 something home runs. But that, very impressive, man. He started very bad, and then after the second month, he just said, let's do this. And the greats, that's what they do, man. They always come through. So hopefully you've been watching some of the preseason games. I believe the Jets and the Giants. August 10th, 2024 is the Jets' first preseason game, and they're going to be, I think, playing the Commanders, I believe. Now, the Giants just played the Detroit Lions in the preseason, 14-3, and Hands Down Sports is going to say this probably, hopefully, a lot, because I would love for this guy to stay on the team with this little performance, even though, it's the third string guys, the guys that are trying to make the squad, so, this would probably not happen if it was, A1 starting, guys out there in the field. But who is Eric Gray? That's my question, babe. Because my dude had 52 rushing yards, 46 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. My G. One of his catches went for 24 yards, and I think he had a big run too, man. I forget how much it was, but I didn't jot it down. Now the other running back, Dante Miller, did pretty good too. He had 12 carries for 63 yards. He didn't have a touchdown, unfortunately, but he did catch 2 balls from the backfield, but he only got 7 yards on it. But he kind of had a little step to his game. You know what I mean? I was I looked at it. I was like, oh, okay, who's this guy? Now in the preseason, I don't really get too involved or watch too many of the games. Even though it's all about fantasy football, and I'm trying to see how the team is doing, who they're giving the ball to, what kind of plays they're running. But right now, I just like that the New York teams are in a good position. The Jets and the Giants are looking like they're going to be really making a good step to improve from last year. Especially, Aaron Rodgers, injury. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt at all. Maybe this year he gets hurt on the last play in the Super Bowl. But anyways, man, I'm always rooting for the New York teams, man. The Bills, I think their preseason game is also today. I think they play the Bears. Yeah, man. The Bears was on the Hard Knocks. I don't know if you guys got to watch that, man. It was pretty interesting. To me, I'm like, okay, so they gave DJ Moore an extension. Big money right there. The dude deserves it. He's only 27 years old, and he's one of the best wide receivers in the league, man. For real, for real. They acquired Keenan Allen from the Chargers. So that's a good thing, because this dude is a veteran. He knows, what he needs to do for the team out there, especially to help out this rookie quarterback. And he had a rookie quarterback just a couple of years ago, in LA. So the New York Giants facility is amazing. I like how they did that aerial view at the end. I didn't know that their practice stuff was right there by the actual stadium. I mean, at least it looked like it was the actual stadium, which is probably is. But where do the Jets practice? It can't be the same facility. What, they're on the other side of the park? Man, but it was awesome. And stay tuned to those, man, because they do a hell of a job over there. And that will definitely be something to continue watching. Actually, they're going to be showing you guys the AFC North teams. So they're going to be showing like all those squads and what they do for Hard Knocks, man. And that's going to be like their new thing. Instead of just concentrating on one team. I mean, like look at how this year went down. They got 5 episodes for the Giants. They're probably going to have 5 episodes for the Bears. And then they're going to show you during the season the AFC North, which to me is a great idea for them to at least keep you engaged. And football fans, man, we want to watch football every day, really. But this sport is not for an everyday thing. You only can play once a week, man. I think the NFL got to work on those Thursday night games so that your team doesn't play Sunday and then Thursday. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's too much on the body for those guys. But they'll figure it out one of these days. You know how it is, man. As a fan, when someone gets hurt, next man up, bro. That's how it is. It's not easy, and I think that all the dudes in the NFL, even if they didn't make the squad, but that's their dream, and they were that close to making it to, the big show. These guys are warriors, man. You're built different, man. That's all I'm trying to say, man. So we're gonna go right into my next segment here. Of course, it's all about boxing, and right now the boxing information is mostly about the Olympics. There's some people that I want to mention. Well, I don't really know these people. I'm saying they're from different countries, but they won gold. For like the first time, and the women Olympic boxing was pretty much showcased on ESPN, and it was pretty interesting. I didn't see any of the fights, but what I read was pretty cool. Besides the Olympics, of course, Canelo and I think his name is Berlanga, that's how it is. They're going to be having a fight in September 14th. We'll get to that real quick. But first, so we have a boxing gold for the second time, Olympic champion for the flyweight, weight class, right? Hasanboy Dusmatov. Now, this gentleman here from Uzbek, I don't know how to pronounce that country, man, but he won his second Olympic title, gold in boxing. China has their first women's Olympic champion, Chang Yong. She is the first boxer for China to win an Olympic gold medal. She beat Turkey's Hatis Akbas, if I'm pronouncing that right. Of course, if I mispronounce your name and you ever listen to my podcast here, Hands Down Sports apologizes, of course. And I don't know what this means, but I mean, because I'm like really new. I feel like I'm new to boxing, even though I've been watching boxing since like Mike Tyson's been fighting. 54 kilograms, I guess that's their weight. But that was pretty impressive that China for the first time has a Olympic champion in boxing. Kelly Harrington defeated Yang Wenlu of China to win the lightweight boxing gold, and then she's the first Irish boxer ever to win back-to-back gold medals. That's really impressive, man. Big shout outs to all these athletes here, man. Win or lose, man, you guys are top of the line, man. For real. And of course, Canelo Alvarez, one of the best boxers in the world. He is 61. 2-2 with 39 KOs. And on September 14th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, and I gotta move to Las Vegas, babe. Forget Florida. He's facing Edgar Berlanga, who is an upcoming fighter for the super middleweight championship. Now Canelo's of course defending that title, and I think he's gonna win. But it will be if Edgar can win, and I'm going. You know why I'm gonna root for Edgar? Because that's my brother's name. So that's all I'm saying, babe. The dude has 20 wins, no losses, 17 KOs. So you better watch out, Canelo. Even though I know, you got the skills, bro, to defend your chip, go 62, 2-2, and you might want to start calling it quits, man. Who was that Mexican boxer that had like 100 and something wins? I forgot his name, babe. I'm gonna look him up for the next one and give him a little shout out because he was a very famous boxer when I was younger. Se me olvidó el nombre de él. I'm not no good at this, man. But boxing segment was short. I got you. But big ups to the Olympics for always having that type of competition out there. I seen that they're doing breakdancing now in the Olympics. I don't know what's that all about, but we can let's do the real sports, babe. Now, usually the next segment is about the NFL. We'll start talking about the fantasy football and how your teams are doing out there. It's the preseason, a lot of excitement going on. I think Houston just played the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think on the first drive they actually had the starters play. C.J. Stroud threw a nice pass to Tank Dell. Those are my number one and number two fantasy football guys this year, man. I am trying to stack that up right there. If I can't get Tank, because he's one of my favorite players right now. T. Hill from the Dolphins, to me, is like, just next level wide receiver, just greatness right there. But right now, what I'm telling you is that C.J. Stroud, second year in the league, impressed everybody last year, and they're gonna go far, man. I if you've been watching my videos on Hands Down Sports here on my channel, man, you know that I've been saying that the Houston Texans are gonna win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years. They might win two, bro. I don't know. I know that they added Diggs, and he's a big mouth to feed and stuff like that. Pause, but Tank Dell and Nico Collins, they are the future of this squad with C.J. Stroud. I think that unfortunately Diggs is just here for 1 year. I don't think they're gonna sign him to a long-term contract or to an extension or anything like that. If it happens, good for them. I just think that Diggs needs to just settle in and say, okay, this is not my team, bro, but let me do what I gotta do to get open and show them that I am the best wide receiver on this squad, and I'm here to help you guys win a Super Bowl. Because Diggs is real nice, man. He's amazing, but he could be a diva sometimes, man. You know what I mean? You can tell him I said that, man. You just now that you're in this point of your career, dogs, you just gotta your mindset of what you used to do, for the Bills and Minnesota. Now it's like, I gotta help this team win. That's it. If I get 3 catches and one of them is a touchdown and I only got 20 yards, it is what it is, bro. That's what I would do if I was in the shoes of Diggs. But of course, that's why Diggs is in the NFL, kicking ass and taking names and big contracts and everything. And I'm over here trying to build my podcast. You know what I mean? I love Diggs, man. My G, you're the man. But it gets to that point, man. You can't play this sport forever, bro. One hit, and that's it. That's how it goes. Fantasy-wise, the 2 guys that I wanted to mention, because, of course, due to the Hard Knocks and the preseason starting, Tyrone Tracy Jr., they mentioned him in the Hard Knocks when they were doing for the Giants and stuff. He's 5'11", 210 running back from Purdue. He didn't play in the preseason. I don't remember reading his stat line at all. But I think he's going to be that number 2 guy behind Singletary. And I'm a big fan of Singletary. I thought he was going to be like a superstar running back for the Bills. It didn't work out for him, but what he did last year for the Texans, hey man, that's what we were expecting to see. But I think that Tyrone Tracy Jr. has an opportunity not to just be the next, G-men starting running back for the future. But I think that if you pick him as your last pick in your draft, he might show you something later in the season, because at one point Singletary needs some rest, man. You know what I'm saying? And then the Jets have this wide receiver from Western Kentucky. His name is Malaki Corley. Now, people have been talking about how diesel this dude is, man. He's 5'11", 215, but he had some type of stat in college of breakaways that were like one of the top 5, you know what I mean, in college last year. And I think that if they start putting him in there, and he starts doing good, even though you may not draft this guy at all because he's not even showing up, by the time you end your draft, he's in the waiver wire. But I think you might do a little highlight. Keep an eye out. I think that someone with his skill set and the quarterback that he has, that veteran back there, Aaron Rodgers, he might be used for specific plays. And if he starts, scoring touchdowns, then you're going to remember Hands Down Sports talked about it. Now, there's some other, football fantasy, channels that have mentioned him, briefly and stuff like that, because they see what I see, man. I just, the highlights, man, is just like, wow, this guy got speed and power. Like, he almost looked like he's a running back, man. I mean, he's 5'11". It's not like he's, 6 foot, 6'1" or something. But, I'm going to keep an eye out for that Mr. Corley and Tracy Jr. You always want to get one of those guys on your fantasy team that nobody's even thinking about, and then they blow up right at the end, like the last 3 weeks of the regular season, helping you get some wins, make it to the playoffs, and now he's in the starting lineup, and you're like, hey, I can't take him out. You know what I mean? The dude's playing nice. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm thinking. When it comes to at least the last 2 rounds, before you start picking your kicker and your defense. I don't know why people try to pick a defense or a kicker like in round 12 and round 13. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's a waste. You can find some gems in there, man. That can keep on your bench and then plug them in on those those weeks when you have the buys. Excuse me. Now, to continue here, I was watching the Dolphins. They were playing, this was a preseason game. They were playing Atlanta Falcons, and it was just Jason Sanders, 58-yard field goal. I was like, yo, this dude almost hit a 60-yarder in preseason. Yo, my J. Thinking of picking him up in my fantasy kit. You know what I mean? Especially that, the Dolphins is one of those teams that are going to be scoring the ball. They have all these fast dudes. T. Hill, Waddle, Achane. Those 3 dudes are like track stars. So, they're going to be up and down the field. And if they don't score, then my man's is going to get 3 for you, man. All day, every day. So those are things that you got to, you got to think about. Yeah, you got to mention. And, to the fans, yo, man, sometimes a good kicker can win you that week, man. They don't win you the week every week, but it could be one important week, and you're like, yo, if he didn't hit that 58-yarder, I would have lost. So, the NFL is back in action, man, and I know that everybody's tuning in, and fantasy fans out there, bro, yo, good luck with your draft. Like I said earlier, stay tuned. I'm going to put out some videos of my draft party. We're going to one of our league mates' house for the first time. It's still a little dry for me, but you know, I'm gonna bring you all along, man. Enjoy the ride with Hands Down Sports, bro. Fantasy football. I don't play no other fantasy leagues. I think that baseball, basketball, whatever else is out there, even in FanDuel and stuff, is a waste of time. But if that's what you like, that's what you like, my G. To me, I think when it comes to fantasy sports, it's all about the NFL, man, and that's the only one that I really take serious. I got total of 3 leagues, plus I do FanDuel every week, so check out my channel for those picks that I do, and I'm just waiting for that one time where I get first place, man, and make some big money on it. But besides that, good luck to everybody out there. Hope you win your league, bro. Salute. Estamos aquí, tú sabes. Doing it every week, and and we got to talk about some other guys too, like in the Pittsburgh game. They put in Fields instead of Wilson, and I think that eventually Fields is gonna win that job, man. This guy's like 6'3". He's fast as like T Hill fast. Well, maybe not as fast, but around there. You know what I'm saying? And then he has some weapons, man. I mean, George Pickens. I think that with the right quarterback, either Wilson or Fields, because he's had like just mediocre guys. NFL. They made it to the NFL. I can't disrespect these guys because they made it to the league. You know what I mean? They're not scrubs, but at this level, you can tell that they're not the top 10 quarterbacks like a CJ Stroud and Mahomes and all them guys. You know what I'm saying? But I think that Pittsburgh upgraded their quarterback room, and that George Pickens will have an amazing year. Might be that second or third wide receiver on your team that really puts up big points every week. I just want 18 points a week. Sometimes that's like I'm in St. Brown. I'm in Ross St. Brown. He was averaging like 18 PPR points a week, man. So to me, I think that's what George Pickens should be this year, and with Wilson and Fields, he can definitely do that, man. I don't think they're bad quarterbacks. Wilson will go. He might be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he will, but because his numbers are not like that. But if Eli Manning makes the Hall of Fame, then we got to put Wilson in there too. That's what I'm trying to say. He has a Super Bowl win, and then they lost to Pittsburgh because they decided to throw the ball instead of running it with beast mode. But besides that, now 2 other wide receivers that are superstars. One of them is pretty much top 5 in your fantasy draft, like in the first round. Negotiations, man. In the NFL, sometimes they work out, like they have for Detroit when it comes to St. Brown, and then there's times where superstars like CeeDee Lamb, and Brandon Ayuk, they might sit out, man. They're like, no, I'm not gonna play if I don't get the new contract or get the extension. And CeeDee Lamb, he's one of those top guys, so he's looking for that top dollar, just like Jefferson and Chase and all those guys. T Hill money. You know what I mean? And I think that the Dallas Cowboys will do it. They just like to play games and stall and say, I'm gonna call you bluff type of deal. You know what I'm saying? You know how Jerry Jones does it. That dude's a OG over there. Even though there's some controversy on on him too, but whatever. It is what it is, man. He's a businessman. He does what's best, what he thinks is best for his franchise, and I can't argue with it. I know it's hard to say, oh yeah, CeeDee Lamb, here's the money, take it. You know what I mean? Do your thing. Behind the scenes is what we don't really know anything about, besides what they showed on the Hard Knocks. That was pretty cool. But Brandon Ayuk is one player that is good, but to me, he's the second best player on his own team. Deebo Samuel is the number 1 guy. Then you. Now, it's not like he's a scrub. He's really good. He's helped this team get to the Super Bowl and NFC championships and stuff like that. He's no slouch. But, he's looking for the bag, which I don't blame him, man. Anybody in the NFL, I don't blame you at all, bro. Get as much money as you possibly can. I'm talking about, like, raping you records. You know what I'm saying? They play hardball, we play hardball, bro. And then at the end of the day, we show you why I was worth all that money, that guap that you just, put in my bank account. But Brandon Ayuk's situation is looking bad, man. It's not looking good at all. The Patriots, the Browns, and the Steelers are in the mix to do like a trade and sign him. And it looked like the Patriots were gonna make him like one of the top 10 highest paid wide receivers, and he declined it. I'm like, dogs, you're a young guy. You know what I mean? You're not old. You're not in your 30s, Ayuk. The Patriots, they just got a quarterback that might be real good. We don't know yet. He has to show it. I mean, if you're there, you can help him out. They have a good, solid running game. They have a solid defense, but they're at the bottom of the throwing pole when it comes to winning games right now, because they're not the Patriots that was winning Super Bowls with Tom Brady in them. They're pretty much rebuilding, and they would like to do it with you, for you to be their number one wide receiver, dogs, because they got some rookies and some young guys that got like 1 or 2 years in the league on their squad, man. They just let go of what's his name? Juju Smith-Schuster. The dude was really nice at the beginning of his career with Pittsburgh, and then things started declining for him, and it didn't work out during this year, during the OTAs and all the practices and everything they're doing right now before the preseason. They released him. So you have the opportunity. You want to be a number one guy. You want to be, hey, I'm the top dog over here. That's the work. That's the place to go, son. And they got a winning, culture in New England. It's not like, if you go to Cleveland, a team that's just starving for a Super Bowl appearance, my G. You know what I mean? Like, they made to a couple of playoff games and this and that, whatever. But, Deshaun Watson, just sucked all the money out of those guys, and he's not even playing like he used to play for Houston. He's not even close to that, dogs. It's like, yo, what's going on with you? They were going to send Amari Cooper over there and some draft picks to the Niners, and for the Niners, that's great because Cooper is a veteran. He can fit right in, and then they look for the future later on. You know what I'm saying? And then the Browns, I think they were going to sign Ayuk. You know what I'm saying? Say, hey, we traded for you, and then we're going to give you the extension and blah, blah, blah. But the money wasn't like the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? And then Pittsburgh, they offered something too, but he declined that. I'm like, dogs, you're declining everything. So what do you really want? You know what I'm saying? And I think that when it comes to football fantasy, this is the guy you don't want to pick, man. Yo, there was one year that I had my draft, and I had the number one pick, and I went with Le'Veon Bell. Now everybody knows, man, before that lockout, or what? Well, not lockout. Before he decided to, play that holdout game, and you know what I'm saying, and then ended up going to the Jets and not even playing as good as he did before. This dude was the best running back in the league, man. You know what I'm saying? And that year, I didn't even get to use him. I didn't even have him in my starting lineup, bro. You know how much that hurts when you're, even if it's like a 3rd round pick, you know what I mean? And they don't play at all. That hurts your team in fantasy football, bro. And that's what might happen to you if you draft Ayuk and he's not on a team. I mean, let's say he's really on the Niners, but he's like, no, I'm not going to play. You guys don't want to pay me. You know what I mean? The money you're offering is low ball, whatever the excuse is. I understand. Yo, get your money, my G. I know you deserve it, dogs, because come on, man, you're helping a famous franchise, get to the promised land. And the Niners are like Dallas, even though they haven't won since, like, Emmett days. They're like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's won with when Ben Roethlisberger and stuff. He won 2 chips over there. You know what I'm saying? The Niners got that reputation like the Yankees. But we're always going to Super Bowls, man. You know what I mean? We're top dog around here, and and he's a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? And I understand he has leverage. But when you are not the number one on your team, man, it's just, they're looking at you like, yeah, talk all that, you'll be playing, don't worry. And if you're slacking out there, then we just keep you on the bench. I can guarantee the NFL makes so much money. These franchises make so much dough. They don't mind. How much we paying you this year? 19 mil? Okay, yeah, sit on the bench, dog. You don't want to play for us? Yeah. We'll take a loss on that 19 mil. It's all good. But I feel that Ayuk and the team he had, the team that's working with him, something's up, babe. Something's wrong, and I would have taken the Patriots offer and said, yeah, I'm going over there. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't try to sign a 5-6 year deal. I'd be like, yo, we'll play this year, right, under my contract, and then you give me an extension for 3 years and pay me like, top dog. You know what I'm saying? Because they were willing to do that. They were going to make him like a top 10 paid wide receiver, dogs. And I don't think Ayuk he's not Jamar Chase. He's definitely not Jefferson. He's not a T. Hill. He's not a CD Lamb. You know what I'm saying? Like, dogs, Ayuk, if you listen to Hands Down Sports right now on this podcast, Starting Lineup Podcast, I'm telling you, man, you're a good wide receiver in the NFL. You're the man. But when you're not the man, like the other guys, you know what I mean? Like that list that I just gave you, dogs. No one in their right mind would not pay these guys. They're like, yo, we got to give that dude his money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Ayuk can be a number one wide receiver if he went to Kansas City. I mean, Kansas City has rookies as wide receivers and some guys that been in the league, but they're just decent. Nothing really crazy. But then they got the superstar quarterback and they got the superstar tight end that make everything go down the field. You know what I mean? Everything runs smoothly. And Ayuk over there, he'll do so good there that then he would demand even more money. You know what I'm saying? Because the production would be better. But it's not like Purdy's, not doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? It's Purdy's, you can't say he's not, you can't say that he's a bad quarterback. He's really good, Yeah, and I didn't expect it, you know what I'm saying? But the dude has been playing really great football. And Ayuk, I think your time is up, man, and it's gonna look bad for you, especially if you have to, miss a whole year like Le'Veon Bell did, and then you end up on a team where, yeah, I got paid, I got guaranteed, esto y lo otro, but you don't do what you were supposed to do. It just looks bad, man. And for all y'all fantasy heads out there, whoever picks or drafts Brandon Ayuk, get you some candles. Get you a little rosary or something and pray that he gets to play on a team week 1. That's all I got to say about that, my G. And let's get into that Olympics, man, for real. So like I said, this is dedicated to the Olympics, this episode here. And we have the USA men's basketball team playing France. And maybe you can check the scores out. Because we got to win gold. LeBron, KD, and Steph. You guys are the 3 main superstars on this squad. And I know there's tons of superstars on this team. I mean, they have it all. Centers, guards, everything. But they have to have this guy's mentality right here. You know what I mean? And they have to win this one for him. It's August 10th, 2024. And you see this right here. Yo, Salute to the crew that did that image right there, man. That's what's up, my G. Big props. I'm gonna put their Instagram page on this video, so you guys go and follow them, man, because they're doing a hell of a job over there. But this is the reason that the USA team has to win. Gold is the second, reason to win this. This is for Kobe, Jay. This is for Kobe. 8, you know what I mean? 10 and 24. Yo, it's Mamba mentality for you guys, bro. So let's do it big. Right now, the USA women's 400-meter relay was a photo finish. Carrie Richardson was the one at the end that took it home for the women. This is their 12th gold medal in the U.S. history for the women's 400-meter relay. Let me see here. Let me give a shout out to Melissa Jefferson, Twanisha Terry, and Gabby Thomas for doing their thing. They pulled this off by like 7 seconds, bro, to beat Great Britain. And good for them, babe. You know what I'm saying? Like, these women right here, yo, they're amazing. Yo, they're fast. They do their thing. They're strong. They're healthy. They do a hell of a job. And if you think you're faster than Carrie Richardson, think again. All right, because she'll be looking to the side while she's busting. Yo, babe, she's a G, yo, for real. Now, let me see here. So, let me see. All right, so I don't know how to pronounce Mr. Benjamin's first name, but I guess it's Ra Benjamin wins gold for men's 40-meter hurdles. And to me, I think the races for hurdles is the most difficult. To me, I don't really know, I've never spoke to these athletes or anybody that does track and field. What is the most difficult event, or which one impresses you the most when these athletes do that particular activity? So but Raj Benjamin wins gold for the men's 400 meters. Let's see here. I forgot to mention, man, this is the USA men's basketball team. Let me see here. This is their 5th straight finals appearance, and this is the 4th time that they're facing France in the finals. France, that's pretty impressive, man. But they got NBA players on there too, so they're gonna give these guys a run for their money. But at the end of the day, come on, babe, you got LeBron James, KD, and Steph. That's a win, babe. That's a win for real. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Okay. Perdón. You know what I mean? Yo tengo tanta vaina. If you see my setup here, you're like, your hands. Tú estás loco. All right, so the USA team has a 16-year-old. Remember, I mentioned about the 16-year-old that does the women's thing. She's Dominican or whatever. Se me olvidó ya. Pero the track and field squad, they made history. Big props to Quincy Wilson. Quincy is 16 years old, and he is the youngest male track and field to ever compete in the Olympics for the United States, which is impressive, man. I'm like, wow. I just imagine every 4 years this dude, doing his thing and getting better at what he does. Amazing, bro. The 400 meters hurdles women was won by Sydney McLaughlin Levron. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name there, Sydney, but congratulations to you. She is a back-to-back gold medalist. She broke a world record. Let me see here. She actually broke her own record. Yo, that's crazy, set. She broke her own record for the fastest 400-meter hurdles in the women's Olympic, games. And salute to her, babe. I hope she does it again, 4 years from now. Now, of course, to me, the best Olympic, athletes that I've ever seen on TV, because I've never attended none of these things, and I wish I could, man, because I think it's a once in a lifetime, opportunity to go see this, because it's wild. But Usain Bolt, who has won 8 gold medals in 3 Olympics, I think has been one of the most dominant, runners of all time. And then, of course, Michael Phelps. I seen Michael Phelps play when he won all those gold medals. I forget where it was. Usain Bolt, who won 8 gold medals in 3 Olympics, and then Michael Phelps, who has won 23 gold medals in his swimming stuff. So, I mean, to me, I think that Michael Phelps, that 1 year most dominant performance for any Olympic champion ever. I mean, you couldn't beat this guy. It didn't matter what it was. He owned the pool. You were just behind him, and he took it over, man. And Michael Phelps, one of the greatest to ever, show his skills in the Olympic, arena, which is amazing. And then we'll end there so that we can go into our last 2 segments: Player of the Week, which I love talking about, and What Ifs. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching and staying this long, of course. I really appreciate you. And if you have, on the comments of this video, please put down the word Olympic champion and let me know who you're rooting for, man. What country you're out there rooting for, because the Dominican Republic has had some amazing gold medals winners recently this year, and then of course China had that first time boxing champion, and there's a lot of things going on over here in the Olympics. It's just too much to handle, babe, for me at least. I'm like, man, what else could I read? You know what I mean? Like, I go from one sport to the next, and I'm like, man, these guys are just top of the line stuff, man, for real. So like I said, let's continue here. Player of the Week here on Starting Lineup Podcast is going to be dedicated to Olympic champion Marilili Paulino. She's from the Dominican Republic, and we are all ecstatic and happy for her. She has won the 400 meters, and she has the Olympic record for the fastest time ever. It says 48.17. Yo, now that's amazing, because usually the ones that are doing this are from the U.S. You know what I mean? Usain Bolt from Jamaica dominated his sport while he was in, and made like $19 million. I don't think Olympic players get paid that much, which is kind of embarrassing, because they bust their ass for like 4 years to make sure that they qualify, and then when they get there, they have to perform. Nothing can go wrong, man. It has to go perfect on the spot. There's no do-overs, nothing, man. So a big shout out to her. We're very happy. I hope they're still celebrating your win over there in the Dominican Republic. I hope they're having a big party. I hope you get to meet the president and all the high military officials and de todo, you know what I mean? I hope David Ortiz goes over there and gives her a big hug and stuff like that. Pedro Martinez, I hope, he gives her a shout out, because, to now be an Olympic record holder for the 400 meters, we're very happy for you. And Miss Paulino, congratulations. Hands Down Sports has you on his Starting Lineup Podcast, and I'm super happy for you. Congratulations. All right. Well, guys, thanks for staying this long in my video, on my podcast. Really appreciate you. I'm always thanking you for watching. Without y'all, man, you know what I'm saying? This channel can't grow. But my thing is, since this podcast was dedicated to the Olympics, to all the great athletes out there doing all their, great, amazing things. And I'm gonna have to do like a little segment to include athletes that I didn't mention on this video, and I'll put it at the after this. But real quick, since they already have b-boying as an Olympic event, I think we should take it a step further. And what if we put MCing as an Olympic, game? You know what I'm saying? Like, have guys that, maybe we don't allow like greats like Jadakiss and Eminem and stuff to compete in this, but whoever does the rules of how the point structures are and who's eligible for this stuff, I think since we already have b-boying, which is one of the 5 elements of hip hop in the Olympics, we gotta add MCing, man, because this is, hip hop is global. So there's going to be people with different languages, different style. We already have the DJ over there, putting the beats for the B-boys to do their thing. So they can do the same thing for dudes, rapping on the mic, on the 1 and 2s, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think that would be awesome, man. I would watch that. I didn't even watch too much of the B-boy and stuff. I was just kind of surprised, like, what is this? This is in the Olympics for real? And I think this is the first year of this. And right now, I think in the finals, the final 2 contestants are one is from Japan, and then one is from the U.S. So Japan and China. I mean, hip hop is all over, big. Everybody loves it. You know what I'm saying? It's in the Middle East. It's everywhere, though. It's in the Latin communities. It's in Latin countries. So I think that's the next thing that we got to add to the Olympics in 2028. Whoever listens to this video, I will love to participate and help out to partition to get MCing in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, hopefully I'm the spark to light that fire for you guys. But MCing, you know what I'm saying? Straight from the heart. Maybe not. Maybe one of the rules would be like, hey, you only get 3 curse words throughout the whole thing. I don't know. It'll be pretty cool, man. I think since we already have one element, let's add another one. You know what I'm saying? So, thanks for watching. Hands Down Sports. Estamos aquí, tú sabes. Starting Lineup Podcast. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.